Hi there, so today I am going to be reviewing this foundation by Maybelline. It's the Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and this is recently released in the UK. It has been out in the States for quite some time now, and I've seen so many positive reviews, so I've been desperate to try it. You can only imagine my face when I realised it was going to be released over here. So I have been testing this out over the past week and a half or so, just to see what I think, so I can do a bit of a review on it. And obviously I was just so keen to use it. Now this foundation is obviously aimed at oily skinned girls or guys, or just people in general. Who else might want to use it? I don't know. But it's aimed at oily skin people. It comes in 6 shades and I have the shade Natural Ivory. Now I did actually start off by getting the ivory shade, however I found that this was just slightly too on the orange side for my skin tone, and I'll show you swatches side by side so you can see for yourself. The shades of this foundation do lend to being a lot more on the yellowy / orangey side, and there are only 6 shades, so I feel like if you're very fair skinned or darker skinned, it may be a bit tricky finding a shade that will match you, which is, you know, typical for drugstore foundations. They don't tend to release a wide variety of shades, which is a shame. So here we go. So this one is the ivory shade, which I tried initially and found it was too orangey for me, and then this is the Natural Ivory shade, which as you can see it's just a bit more neutral, so you can see that this one is just a better match for my skin tone, and that's the one that I've got on today. You can see the formula is pretty liquidy. Considering that this is a matte foundation, I would expect it to usually be a bit thicker consistency. I think the fact that this is so thin makes it super easy to apply, which at the end of the video I will have a demo for you so you can check out the application process. We use a beauty blender to apply this foundation, which for me is the best way to apply it. Just to mention as well, the Fit Me range does also have a specific foundation for drier skin types, and that is the, I think it's a Dewy and Smooth foundation. So if you are on the drier skin side, then that would be probably the one for you. This is what the packaging looks like. It's just a simple kind of tube, which is fine. I would have preferred a pump ideally, because you can control the amount of product that you're getting more, but I mean it's £5.99, so I'm not even complaining. I actually got this for £5 on special offer in Boots. I think it was like an introductory offer, but its usual price will be £5.99, so I am not going to complain about the packaging because it's £5.99. So I really do like this foundation. It definitely does keep me looking matte all day. It lasts really well throughout the day as well. I find that this foundation is super comfortable on the skin, which for me is kind of hard to find with a matte foundation, because matte foundations tend to be a bit heavier on the skin, but this just feels weightless. It feels absolutely fantastic. I tend to steer clear of matte foundations just because I'm always wary that they do kind of feel kind of mask-like on the skin, but this one definitely just feels super comfortable. Another claim of this foundation is that it, I'll just read out what it says, mattifies and refines pores with blurring micro powders for poreless looking skin. Now this is one criticism that I do have of the foundation. I do struggle with pores just at the side of my nose and on my nose, and I don't really see that this foundation covers them or minimizes them or blurs, as it says. I do feel that my pores are still kind of not as prominent as they would be without the foundation, but I don't really feel that they kind of blur them. However, if that is something that you also struggle with, you could also always use a smoothing primer just to kind of fill those in. So I mean, it's not a huge problem, but I think I just wanted to mention it because it's just a claim that the product's making that for me isn't really correct. Overall, I really love this foundation. It feels weightless on the skin. It really does keep shine at bay. I have not once powdered this foundation the whole time I've been wearing it, and it's been a really good time to test it because it's actually been really sunny and warm here in Manchester. Ordinarily, I would get oily and my skin would start to become kind of greasy, for lack of a better word. But with this foundation, I've not had any of that. It really does kind of just cling onto your skin and just control the oil, which is amazing. I said earlier, I think if you are more on the drier side, then this probably wouldn't be the one for you, just because it is a superhero at keeping your skin matte. So I feel like it may, well, it would probably make you feel pretty dry, and I definitely think that you should look into the dewy one. But for £5.99, this is a brilliant product. And also at the moment in Boots, they have a buy one get the second half price offer going on, so you could even buy this and you could buy my other favorite Maybelline product, which is a 24-hour tattoo eye cream that I'm always going on about. You could buy both of them for under £10, so that's just like throwing that out there. I think I've said all I need to say. Shade range isn't the best, so definitely go in and swatch a few and see what would match you the best. I just really like it. I'm going to be wearing this so much throughout the summer because it feels light on the skin, it keeps my oils at bay, and I just really like the look of it. It's definitely a medium coverage. You could build it up to being a full coverage. I think there's a fine balance with foundations. You don't want to put too much on because then I just feel like it could enter into cakey zone. That's it for my review. I will show you a demo now of me applying it so you can just see how I apply it. So I've put the foundation, why could I not think of the word? I put the foundation on one side of my face. I think my hand action actually gave away which side it was. It's this side here. The reason why I put it on this side was because I've got a couple of spots over here, so I wanted to just show you what it looked like before and then show you how well the foundation covers them. As you can see, this side of my face is just much more kind of flawless. The redness that I've got on this side has diminished. Just looks a lot better, let's be honest. So I'm going to just show you the application on the other side of my face. So I squeeze the product out. I always put about that much on my hand, and as you can see, this is pretty runny for what is a kind of medium coverage matte foundation. I don't know why, but I usually find that matte foundations tend to be a bit thicker in consistency, but not this one. So I'm just using a damp beauty blender just to pat in the foundation. You've seen this a million times before, I'm sure. This foundation does go on really easily. However, the thing that I have noticed is that you do have to use quite a lot of the product. I don't know why that is. For example, with my YSL Touch Eclat, I put a pump on my hand and it just spreads. That one pump will just cover my entire face. Whereas with this, I find that I do have to, look, like now, that pump that I've put on is pretty much, not pump, squeeze. The squeeze that I put on is pretty much gone, and that's just by doing like my cheek area and a bit of my chin. So I'm just patting this in. Let me have a little look to see what's happening over here. Now, as I mentioned as well in the review, I have gone back and forth a bit on the shades because I initially got the ivory shade and then I went back because I felt it was just leaning a bit orange on my skin. So I went back and got the natural ivory shade, which is what I'm putting on today. And it does seem to be a better match for me, but it's still not quite 100%. Right, so now I'm going back in with another little bit on my hand, not a lot, just a little bit there, and we're going to do the forehead area, so just pat it on. Do you see what I mean? This one's a bit yellowy. I just feel like these shades are just a little bit tricky. So anyway, yeah, the shades is a bit of an issue. I would definitely say if you can, just go and swatch a few. This goes on really nicely. No, okay, so there we go. Now I feel like this is a pretty good match. It doesn't really, I don't think it really looks, do you think? I don't know. I'm going to go with what you think. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think this is a good match for me? I'm kind of back and forth with it a bit, but anyway, that's the application. I've obviously got no other products on whatsoever right now. You can see it's pretty much, it's kind of like a satin matte finish, and it just gives your skin a lovely glow. The little spot that I've got there, I'll do a little close up. The spot that I do have there is still peeking through slightly, so I probably would need to put a little bit of extra concealer there. It does give it a medium coverage, and the foundation doesn't feel sticky or anything. It just seems to settle into the skin really quickly. I do find that I have had a little bit of it settling in the fine lines just around my eyes, but every foundation does that, so it's not something that I'm particularly concerned about. It's just, I don't know, aging, I suppose. So that's fine. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be back soon with more.